We are going to start with the material science with the types of polarization and internal fields in the dielectrics. Now, what are the types of polarization? There are three types. First is electronic polarization, generally seen in the covalent compounds. When a covalent compound are placed in an electric field, displacement of electron cloud takes place relative to the nucleus. This displacement creates a dipole which develops a dipole moment. Now here this is the electronic dipole polarization is generally seen in the covalent compounds. When the covalent compound are placed in the electric field, displacement of electron cloud takes place relative to the nucleus. We know that nucleus is positively charged and electrons are negatively charged. There is a displacement of the positive and negative charges. So this displacement creates a dipole which develops a dipole moment. So electronic polarizability is alpha E is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r minus 1 by n, where n is the number of dipoles per unit volume and electronic polarization is independent of temperature. This electronic polarization is independent of temperature, and this is seen in the covalent compounds. Next is ionic polarization. It is exhibited by the ionic compounds. When the ionic compounds are kept in an electric field, displacement of positive and negative ions occurs, developing a dipole moment. So previously we have seen the covalent compounds exhibit electronic polarization. Here ionic compounds exhibit ionic polarization. That means when they are kept in electric field, displacement of positive and negative ions take positive and negative ions occurs, developing a dipole moment. And ionic polarizability is alpha I is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon r minus 1 by ni, where it is here ionic polarization is independent of temperature. Here also, here electronic polarization is independent of temperature. Similarly, ionic polarization is also independent of temperature. Now the third one is orientation polarization. See, this orientation polarization is exhibited by the polar molecules exhibit these mechanisms. When polar molecules are kept in an electric field, already existing dipoles tend to align in the direction of the applied electric field. This increases the dipole moment. As we have discussed the types of dipoles, we have polar and non-polar dielectrics. In that, here we consider orientation polarization, and those polar molecules exhibit this mechanism. When polar molecules are kept in an electric field, already existing dipoles tend to align in the direction of the applied field, which increases the dipole moment. So orientation polarizability alpha naught is equal to alpha O. We spell it as alpha O because of orientation polarization. It is nothing but mu square by kT, but this is dependent on temperature. The expression is alpha naught is inversely proportional to temperature. So the total polarization is a sum of electronic polarization, ionic polarization and orientation polarization. So these are the three types of polarization, and the total polarization is the sum of the algebraic sum of all the three polarizations: electronic, ionic and orientation polarization. Electronic polarization exhibited by covalent compounds, ionic polarization exhibited by ionic compounds, orientation polarization is exhibited by the polar molecule. Next we see the internal field. What are the internal fields? The total electric field in an atom site in a dielectric material due to applied external electric field and induced various fields is called as a internal fields. So we are going to see the expression for the internal fields by the Lorentz method. Here internal field is the field in a dielectric due to applied external field and the induced various fields is called as a internal fields. Now we will see how exactly it is happening. Consider an atom or a dipole A at the center of the imaginary spherical cavity of large radius compared to intermolecular distance in a dielectric placed between the plates of a parallel plate capacitor. If you look at the figure, it is a parallel plate capacitor where you are taking a spherical cavity of imaginary large radius of cross section compared to the intermolecular distance in a dielectric placed between the plates of a parallel plate capacitor. The electric field at a point A is called as internal field EI, given by EI is equal to E1 plus E2 plus E3 plus E4. This is the sum of the algebraic. This is the sum of all the electric fields E1, E2, E3 and E4. We'll see what exactly is E1, what is E2, what is E3 and E4. Now here, field due to charge density on plates of a capacitor is E1. E1 is a field due to charge density on the plates of a capacitor. So E1 is equal to E plus P by epsilon. This is equation number 2. Now what is E2? E2 is a field due to polarized charges induced on the plane ends of a dielectric. It is due to the polarized charges on the plane end of a dielectric. That is E2 is equal to minus P by epsilon naught. This is equation 3. Next E3. E3 field due to polarized charges induced on the surface of the spherical cavity. Here there are 3 things you need to consider here. Charge density on the plates of a capacitor, and E2 is the polarized charges due to plane ends of a dielectric, and E3 is the polarized charges induced on the surface on the spherical cavity. So it is E3 is P by 3 epsilon naught. So E4 is nothing but field due to all dipoles inside the spherical cavity. Inside the spherical cavity, charge resides only on the surface of the cavity. So inside there is no electric field. E4 goes to 0. So from equation 5, substitute from equation 1 to 5. If we substitute all 2, 3, 4 and 5 in equation 1, which we have, it is a sum of all the E1, E2, E3, E4 gives to the internal field, which gives rise to EI is equal to E1 is E plus P epsilon naught minus P by epsilon naught plus P by 3 epsilon naught plus E4 is 0. If you do it, doing the algebraic sum, it comes to EI is equal to E plus P by 3 epsilon. P, because the second and third term gets cancelled. So first and fourth term, so it is coming as EI is equal to E plus P by 3 epsilon naught. So the expression for the internal fields in 1D and 2D dielectrics and the Lorentz fields. Internal field in one dimension dielectric material is EI is equal to E plus 1.2 mu induced by mu pi epsilon naught AQ. So where E is the applied electric field and A is the interatomic distance, mu I and D is nothing but induced dipole moment, and epsilon naught is the permittivity of the free space. The internal field in 3-dimensional dielectric field EI is equal to E plus gamma P by epsilon naught, where polarizability P is equal to mu induced by A cube is taken as P, and the internal field constant gamma is equal to 1.2 by pi. Now from 1D, how you have got 3D is substitute 1.2 by pi as gamma, and mu induced by A cube we take it as P. Therefore gamma P by epsilon naught. Here the Lorentz field EL is equal to E plus P by 3 epsilon naught, where gamma is equal to 1 by 3 for a cubic dielectric. So substituting, this is the internal field where 3D cubic material is called as a Lorentz field. So this is a Lorentz field. Just from 1D you have arrived the 2D by taking 2 pi value, 1.2 by pi comes to gamma, and remaining term comes 1.2 by pi comes to gamma, and mu induced by A cube goes to P. So gamma P by epsilon naught. This is a very important equations where you have make sure that Lorentz field EL is equal to E plus P by 3 epsilon naught, where gamma is taken as 1 by 3 for a cubic dielectric. This is the internal field for 3D cubic material in a Lorentz field. Now what is internal field? What is the internal field in solids? What exactly is the internal field? Internal field is a local field, is the resultant field experienced by a molecule per an atom in a solid due to external field and the field produced by the dipoles. See here, internal field is nothing but a local field experienced by a molecule per an atom in a solid due to external field and the fields produced by the dipoles. So internal field is sum of all the local field resultant by a molecule by an atom in the solid due to the external field and the fields produced by the dipoles. Also internal field is the sum of the applied field and the induced field. So here internal field means it is a sum of all the types of the fields, whether it is induced or the external field or by the all the things is due to external fields produced by the dipoles, field experienced, everything comes into picture. So finally internal field is the sum of the applied field and the induced fields. So this internal field, Lorentz fields in solids is very important. When you come to the internal field, Lorentz fields, everything is very much essential.